Hi, this is Joanne Gagne, and I am going to show you my Prezi presentation for my lesson plan, which is how to create questions from headings to set a purpose for reading. How to create questions from headings to set a purpose for reading. I start with my essential question: how can changing headings into questions help me remember what I have read? I start with a lead-in, and I'm going to ask my students, while viewing an Extreme Explorer magazine, think about the answers to the following questions that we will discuss as a class. What type of text is this? What do we know about nonfiction text? Where else can we find informational text? They're going to discuss this in their small groups, and then as a whole group, and after about 3 minutes or up to 5 minutes, we're going to discuss their answers and write them up on the board. Setting a purpose. We're going to change headings into questions that can be answered to help you better understand all informational text. We're going I want my students to understand that they can use this strategy in their science class, social studies class, or math class, or, for example, any of their content area classes. And also, this is a good strategy that readers use to make sense and comprehend while they read. It's very important that they know that they can use this strategy in other areas, not just in language arts class. So I'm going to start my step-by-step procedure, which is a whole class teacher-guided lesson. We'll start with change the title into a question. Each student will have a copy of an Extreme Explorer magazine on sea turtles, and we're going to look at the title, which is Sea Turtles, and change that into a question. So it's going to become, what do I know about sea turtles? I give them this. Then I have them brainstorm what they know about sea turtles, and then they write the information on the board. Next, I will explain to the class that they will sometimes need to use their own background knowledge to answer questions. Sometimes the answers will be right there in the text, and sometimes they will need to infer the answers by combining the text with their background knowledge to create an inference. T stands for text, BK for background knowledge, and I for inference. So I write T plus BK equals I on the board as a reminder. Next, I have them turn to page 16 in their magazine and to continue to read the article that was on the cover page. We read the title, which is Turtle Travels, and I ask them to come up with some suggestions for how we could change Turtle Travels into a question. We write their ideas up on the board, their questions that they came up with, and then we decided on where do turtles travel. That was the best question that we felt we came up with. So we read on to find out where turtles travel and write the answers on the board. Next, we start our independent practice. So when I'm confident that my students understand the task, I have them choose an article that interests them. I have many different magazines on different levels. They can pick any topic that they want from the articles. And then I ask them to pick a partner who has picked the same article as them. I like them just to work pairs for this. And then the activity for them to do is to go through the article and come up with 10 questions, changing the headings into questions, and then to answer the question. So then when they're finished, they are to discuss their questions and answers with their partner choose one that they felt was the best one, and then they're going to present that one to the class at the end of the period. They'll be given around 20 minutes, 25 minutes to finish the task in a 40-minute period. So when you've completed the article and answered the question, discuss them with your partner and decide which question and answer you would like to share with the class. Hand in your questions to be graded. There would be 10 good questions and answers, would be 80%. And then the presentation of the question and the answer is a 20% grade. So my assessment, students working in pairs, students working in pairs will create 10 questions with answers on lined paper, which will be 80%, and students will present one question to the class with an explanation for their reasoning, which is 20%. And then the materials I used were the magazine, smartboard, Prezi presentation, lined paper, and pencils. I think I explained, I like them to use lined paper to write their questions on, because that way that it can carry over into other classes. They don't have to have a specific graphic organizer to do this activity. It's something that they can use in all of their classes. Okay, so this is what I would leave up on the whiteboard so that they can refer to it at any point if they have questions. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.